Hello, I'm Chris Weir. Match fixing can be defined as irregularly influencing the course or result of a sports event in order to obtain advantage for oneself or others, and to remove all or part of the uncertainty normally associated with sport. It goes without saying that a fundamental aspect of why so many people love and enjoy sport is a belief in the fairness of the contest and the uncertainty of the outcome. When these things are compromised, then sport becomes pointless. Match fixing and the associated corruption that stems from it is not limited to professional or high-performance sport. Match fixing has happened at local matches and tournaments across the country. No sport can be said to be immune from match fixing in some form in the future. The main reason people get involved in match fixing is for personal or financial gain. Sports betting agencies have a high profile in Australia and offer the opportunity for high sums to be gambled on sporting events with the prospect of very high returns. It is important to understand that betting itself is a legitimate pursuit, but illegal or fraudulent betting is not. It is this illegal and fraudulent betting on sport, often through offshore or online agencies, that some people see the opportunity to manipulate games for financial benefit. This has serious implications for sport at all levels. Gambling in sport. Australia is a nation of gamblers. Per capita, we lose more money to gambling than any other nation in the world. That makes us a magnet for betting agencies looking for new ways to separate punters and their money. What the law says. Most forms of gambling are legal in Australia, and regulation of the industry rests largely with the states and territories. It's a complex set of laws that varies between jurisdictions, and it's opened the way for a poorly regulated industry to thrive. Now, thanks to the internet, sports gambling is borderless and largely beyond the control of governments anywhere. In short, if an online betting agency wants to offer odds on a local amateur sporting fixture, there is very little any government can do about it, and the club or clubs concerned don't need to be informed. A blanket ban on non-professional sport gambling may seem like a simple and effective solution, but there are many who claim this could create more problems than it would solve. They argue that wagering on sport at all levels goes on now and will continue to do so even if a ban is in place. Illegal, under-the-counter betting will flourish, opening the door to criminal influences. A transparent bookmaking industry provides opportunities for regulation and control. Gambling taxes provide revenue for the government. Betting agencies are heavily involved in sports sponsorship, and there is potential for local clubs to generate much needed funds in the same way. Most of the arguments in the no camp focus on the harmful effects of gambling already evident in our community. Opening up amateur sport to online gambling just encourages a habit that has many negative side effects. Thanks to the prevalence of betting advertising during sports broadcasts, children already think of sport in terms of odds. Extending that to local sport would just reinforce the idea that sport and betting go hand in hand. Sports betting is already a popular drug of choice for problem gamblers, and is often young males who are most at risk. A lack of money in local leagues increases vulnerability to match-fixing attempts. The highly paid elite players may be able to resist the temptation of a big bribe, but what about the club-level player on an apprentice's wage, or the volunteer referee who only gets reimbursed for costs? We should be protecting sport and the interests of the wider sporting community against match fixing and corruption. The first thing any club should do is have a serious discussion about the issues and decide on a policy. Consult your nationally supported organisation to determine their position and talk to your members to find out what they think. There are a few clubs and leagues who are already dealing with this issue. Do your research, contact them and ask questions. If you're against gambling in amateur sports or fearful that it could ruin the integrity of your sport, don't just hold out for legislative change, because that may take a while. For the moment, we have to rely on the integrity of local players and officials to keep sport fair. There are some things your club can do to encourage fair play, including ban players and referees from betting on matches or competitions in which your club is involved. Develop a gambling policy to ward against corruption and include penalties for breaches of conduct. Get involved in campaigns to reduce gambling addiction. Encourage integrity and honesty and a sense of fair play at your club. Include these qualities in your coach's code of behaviour. If your club is unhappy about a betting agency offering odds on matches in your league, gather support from other clubs and go to the media. Bringing the issue to the attention of the public may help to dissuade further activity. Refer to the resources in the online portal. Thanks for listening.